Most people dream of being retired and having no worries or restrictions. What if it turns out to be wrong, though? What if, years from now, you realize that leaving wasn't the paradise you thought it would be? A lot of people find out too late that retirement is nothing like they thought it would be. The much-needed rest and relaxation can quickly turn into boredom. Financial worries can take the place of job stress, and all of a sudden, you lose the drive that used to drive you every day. This video goes over 6 reasons why some retirees feel bad about giving up their jobs, even if they thought it was the right choice at the time. These ideas might give you a new way to look at retirement, whether you're already retired or just thinking about the choices you've made in your life. Also, you're not the only one who has ever been unsure about what retirement really means. A lot of people find out too late that staying busy, whether it's with work, volunteering, or projects they're really passionate about, can be much more fulfilling than having endless free time. Stay with me until the end, because knowing about these regrets now can help you avoid them later, or even change how you think about your retirement years from now on. It is never too late to find meaning and happiness in your daily life, even if you are retired. Don't miss a video before we start. Please subscribe and turn on the bell if you haven't already. To show that you like this video, click the like button in the comments section. Type 0 in the comments to let me know you don't like it. It will help me make videos for you that are better. We can begin now. In the first place is loss of purpose. One thing that many retirees find most surprising is that they suddenly have no reason to live. There was structure to your days, work to do, and a reason to get up every morning at your job for decades. But when they no longer have to follow a routine, many retirees ask themselves, now what? The novelty of not having to work wears off quickly, and not having meaningful tasks can leave a void that's hard to fill. Work is more than just getting paid. It gives you a sense of who you are and what you've accomplished. You always had a goal to work toward, whether you were running a business, teaching, or just working a 9-to-5 job. When you retire, you no longer have that daily sense of progress, and some people start to feel like they have no goals. The hours that used to go by quickly now feel long and empty, and days start to blend together when you don't have a clear goal. Take the case of Thomas, a 76-year-old man who worked as an engineer for more than 40 years. He was excited about retiring because he thought it would give him time to relax. But after a year, he started to feel lost. It was no longer exciting to wake up without an alarm, and he didn't have any projects or problems to solve. He tried to keep himself busy with hobbies, but nothing made him feel as good as his job. He eventually found that volunteering at a nearby science center gave him a reason to live again. It let him use his skills and make him feel useful again. A lot of retirees don't realize how much their job made them feel good about themselves. It's hard to find the same level of satisfaction from small things like finishing a task or helping a coworker. That's why a lot of experts say to find new ways to do things that are meaningful, like getting a part-time job, mentoring someone, or getting involved in your community. You don't have to do nothing when you retire. It can be a chance to do something that's just as fulfilling as a job. The important thing is to understand that your purpose doesn't end when you do. It's easy to get stuck in a rut when you don't have anything exciting planned for each day. People who stay mentally active after retirement are the happiest. They can do this by learning something new, setting personal goals, or finding ways to help other people. Every stage of life feels better when you have a reason to get up in the morning. Second, being alone all the time. Plenty of people don't understand how much their work affects their social life until it's over. When you retire, you no longer have to talk to coworkers every day, have casual conversations in the break room, or even greet familiar faces every morning. At first, it feels like a good change, a chance to get away from the stress and politics of the office. But after a while, not having those regular social connections can make you feel surprisingly alone. Working with other people is a natural part of your job. There was always a built-in network of people to talk to, work with, or just make small talk with, even if you weren't very social. Many retirees find it hard to keep up with friends and family after they stop working. The days can start to feel more lonely than expected. It's easy to fall into a quieter, more isolated lifestyle when you don't have coworkers, meetings, or even a planned reason to leave the house. This can have real emotional and even physical effects. That's exactly what happened to Robert, a 74-year-old man who worked in sales his whole life. He met new people every day at work for years. He was excited to slow down and enjoy some peace and quiet when he retired. He found that the silence wasn't as nice as he thought as time went on. He missed the friendly banter, the energy of being with other people, and the sense of connection that work had given him. He got fewer and fewer invitations, and over time he felt more and more alone. When he joined a walking group and started helping out at a food bank, he started to feel like he had friends again. Isolation from other people doesn't just make you feel lonely, it can also hurt your health. Studies have shown that seniors who don't have many friends are more likely to become depressed, lose their memory, and even have physical health problems like heart disease. People need to connect with others, and when we don't have those daily interactions, it can hurt us in ways we didn't expect. That's why psychologists and doctors tell retirees to make an effort to stay socially active. It doesn't have to be hard to connect with other people. For example, you can join a local club, go to community events, or make it a habit to call or visit friends often. Some retirees find meaning in helping younger people, going to group fitness classes, or even getting a part-time job just to meet new people. The important thing is to realize that relationships take work, especially after retirement, when you don't have to make time for them every day. Number 3, stress about money. A lot of people think that their money problems will go away when they retire. You worked hard for decades, and retirement should be the reward. It's when you can finally enjoy your savings and unwind. But for many retirees, things are very different. Unexpected costs, inflation, and people living longer can make retirement more expensive than they thought it would be, even if they plan carefully. When you look back 20 or 30 years, what seemed like a nice nest egg can start to feel surprisingly small. One of the biggest surprises for retirees is that they don't think they'll need as much money as they do. During the working years, income feels steady, checks arrive on time, and even if costs change, there's always another paycheck on the way. But when you reach retirement age, that steady flow of money stops, and all of a sudden, every dollar you spend seems more important. Costs for things like medical bills, home repairs, and even everyday things can add up quickly and cause stress that many people didn't expect. Take the case of John, a 78-year-old man who quit his job in his early 60s because he was sure he had saved enough. Things seemed fine for the first few years, but then an unexpected medical procedure used up most of his savings. Then the cost of living slowly went up, making his budget less flexible than he had planned. It didn't take him long to start worrying about costs he never used to think twice about. He finally chose to get a part-time consulting job, not just for the extra money, but also for the peace of mind it would bring. A lot of retirees wish they had a backup plan or known how much inflation would change their costs. While a fixed income may seem like enough at first, rising prices can make even the most basic things feel pricey over time. Everything tends to get more expensive every year, including groceries, healthcare, and insurance. If retirees don't have a plan to supplement their income, financial stress can take the place of the stress they thought they had left behind at work. It's also hard not to spend too much too soon. As they start their retirement, many people feel confident about their finances, but later they realize they spent too much in the beginning. At first, big trips, home improvements, and helping out family members all seem like they'll be doable. But when unexpected costs come up, though, you lose your financial flexibility. Some retirees have to downsize their homes, spend less, or even go back to work, not because they want to, but because they have to. A long-term financial plan that allows for flexibility is often what experts say you should do. It's not enough to just make sure you have enough money for today. You need to make sure your money lasts for decades. Not only do some retirees choose to work part-time to make sure they have money, but they also do it for the mental and social benefits. Others look for ways to make passive income, like through investments, rental properties, or side projects that keep them busy and give them extra money. The main thing to remember is that saving money for retirement is not enough. You also need to know how to spend it wisely over time. Retirees who keep planning their finances strategically, making changes as needed, and being ready for the unexpected are the ones who feel the safest about their money. How well you plan for the years to come is just as important as how much money you saved. Number 4, losing your mental sharpness. The mind can slow down very quickly when it's not being used. This is one of the most surprising things about retirement. A lot of people don't realize how mentally stimulating it was to solve problems, make choices, learn new things, and talk to different people at work. It's easy to feel mentally sluggish, forgetful, or even cut off from the world when that stimulation suddenly goes away. In ways they never did before, some retirees find it hard to remember names, concentrate on tasks, or keep up with conversations. Doctors and researchers have been looking into the link between mental health and cognitive engagement for a long time. The results are clear. One of the best ways to keep your brain sharp as you age is to keep your mind active. Work naturally gives you a steady stream of mental challenges, but when you don't have a job, your brain doesn't get as much exercise. That's why a lot of retirees who don't keep busy with interesting things notice a loss of motivation, memory, and even the ability to solve problems. The 73-year-old Barbara, who had been a teacher for over 40 years, had the same thing happen to her. She read all the time, made lesson plans, and kept up with her students. However, after she retired, she watched more TV, read less, and had trouble staying focused during conversations. She didn't understand how much better she felt when her mind was busy until she joined a book club and began taking online classes. In just a few months, her memory got better, and she felt smarter and more energized. One of the biggest mistakes retirees make is thinking that relaxing means taking their minds off of things. Even though retirement is supposed to be a time to relax and enjoy life, the happiest and smartest retirees are the ones who keep their minds active. This can be done by reading regularly, doing puzzles, or even having deep conversations. It is just as important to keep your brain active as it is to keep your body active. Getting along with other people is also a big part of keeping your mind sharp. Talking, debating, and even just chatting with friends can keep your brain sharp and help you think of new ideas. People in retirement who shut themselves off from others or stop looking for new things to do often find that their mental and social abilities decline faster than those who stay active. Many experts say that you should make a mental fitness routine, which is like an exercise routine for your body, but for your brain. You can keep your brain active and challenged by doing things like picking up a new language, an instrument, or even a new hobby. Some retirees even do part-time jobs, consulting, or volunteer work that requires them to think critically and solve problems. This helps them keep their brains sharp. Fifth, losing your identity. What we do shapes who we are for most of our lives. What do you do is a question that most people answer with a job, a profession, or a role that makes them feel like they belong. But when you retire, that identity changes all of a sudden or goes away completely. Many retirees have trouble answering the question, who am I now? They spent decades defining themselves through their work, so going from feeling valued, needed, and productive to having no idea what to do with their life can be one of the hardest parts of retirement. Work gives us more than just money. It makes us feel like we're making a difference and is appreciated. That's true whether you are a boss, a teacher, a nurse, or the owner of a business. People relied on you to do your job. When you retire, it can feel like getting off a moving train. You lose not only your job, but also the sense of importance and self-worth that came with it. Some retirees even feel like their family and friends don't ask them for their opinion as often, which can make them feel even more left out or unimportant than before. That's exactly what happened to Richard, a 77-year-old man who worked as a police officer for a long time. His job gave him a strong sense of being responsible and who he was for many years. He felt like he had lost a part of himself after he retired, though. He missed having a routine, feeling like he was making a difference, and even the respect that came with his job. He didn't feel like himself again until he started mentoring young police officers and volunteering at a community center. That's when he realized that his experience and knowledge were still useful outside of his job. A lot of people don't realize how much their identity is tied to their job until they retire. Not having a clear role or responsibility can make you feel uncertain and even depressed. That's why experts say people should find new ways to define themselves after they retire. This could mean giving up a full-time job to become a mentor, a community leader, or even to follow a passion that had been put on hold. Staying involved in activities that matter is one of the best ways to rebuild a sense of self. When they retire, Some people start a new project, write, teach, or even start a small business that they love. Some people find happiness in their hobbies, creative activities, or causes they care about. The important thing is to realize that retirement doesn't mean giving up who you are. It means changing who you are into something even more satisfying. Retirement doesn't change who you are. It starts a new part of your life. People who still believe they are valuable, have a purpose, and can make a difference are the happiest retirees. They find new ways to feel like they belong and make a difference in their communities, like getting help from others, learning new skills, or mentoring. This shows that identity doesn't go away, it just changes. On the sixth list is regret over time wasted. Retiring can be very hard for some people because they feel like they didn't make the most of their time. As soon as you retire, it feels like you have all the time in the world to relax, travel, and enjoy life. However, some retirees find that they wasted too much time on things that didn't really make them happy. They let time slip away instead of taking advantage of new opportunities. When they realize it's too late, they feel bad that they didn't make the most of their retirement years. Some people feel regret because they put off their dreams and goals. When people first retire, a lot of them plan to relax for a while and then do the things they've always wanted to do. But before they know it, years have passed and they still haven't learned that new skill, gone on that trip, or started that project they were really excited about. Others feel bad about wasting too much time on mindless things like watching TV for hours, scrolling through social media, or getting stuck in daily habits that didn't make them happy or give them a sense of purpose. James, an 80-year-old man with big plans for retirement, had just that happen to him. He promised himself that he would go on trips, write a book, and get in touch with old friends. But the first few years were spent taking it easy. Then things got back to normal, and before you knew it, 10 years had passed. As he looks back, he wishes he had started sooner and seized those chances before his health problems and other factors in his life made them harder to achieve. When people retire, they often think they have endless time, which is a big mistake. You know what? Time goes by quickly, and the years fly by whether we enjoy them or not. That's why some of the happiest retirees are the ones who stay active, make plans for their days, and work hard to keep living instead of just letting life pass them by. Retirement doesn't have to be defined by regret. Starting today to make changes is important. This could mean starting a new hobby, getting back in touch with old friends, traveling to a place you've always wanted to see, or just being more deliberate about how you spend your time. Every little bit helps. It's never too late to start living your life to the fullest, and the best way to avoid regret is to do something now instead of later. Finally, retirement is often seen as the ultimate goal, a reward that is earned after years of hard work. But for many, things are much more complicated than that. Loss of purpose, being alone, worries about money, mental decline, changing identities, and feeling bad about wasting time can all make retirement feel less like freedom and more like an unexpected challenge. It doesn't have to be that way, though. Now that you know about these common regrets, you can choose to do something different. Whether you're already retired or just making plans for the future, the best way to enjoy your retirement is not to stop working, but to keep busy. People who continue to look for meaning in their life, make friends, smartly manage their money, keep their minds active, keep their sense of who they are, and use their time in ways that make them happy and fulfilled are the happiest retirees. Retirement isn't the end of your story. It's just the start of a new one that you can shape. So take a moment to think about which of these regrets hit home for you the most. What can you do right now to make sure that your years of retirement are full of meaning, purpose, and connection? There is always time to change, make new plans, and build a retirement that makes you proud, not sad. Thanks for being here today. Please get in touch with us. Tell us what you learned today and how you're going to use it in your life in the comments below. We care about what you think, so don't be shy about telling us. We feel very motivated and encouraged when we read your comments. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you liked it and found it useful. Thanks for your support. It lets us keep making good content for you to learn from and be inspired by. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.